Met with one of the transplant surgeons who said I had three options, a kidney transplant, chronic dialysis, or I would die. At that time I actually ran out of the room and said I didn't want any of the three and wanted a fourth option. And when I talk tired, it's a tired that you just can't even comprehend. That it's an effort to get out of the chair. You're short of breath because you're very anemic. Your color isn't very good, so you're very pale. Scary, I think, is probably the best word that I can find.
The first was when my daughter was 18 months, my oldest daughter. They really felt that one time she had stomach cancer. And so we were living in Door County and we were sent to Milwaukee Children's. There was no place for me to go. I had no money. And I slept under her crib on the hard floor for 10 days, not knowing whether she was going to die, survive, or how that was going to be. That was a horrible, horrible situation. And then we moved forward to my father-in-law having multiple myeloma and knowing that without a transplant there wasn't going to be a good outcome for him.
And I think for my mom being a single parent trying to handle a sick child, I think it was very difficult, and I think it was hard for my father. Each week I would come back, I have lab work, and see the doctor and make sure everything was going well, and then go back to La Crosse and back to Madison. So there was a weekly drive back and forth, back and forth. And being a single mom, driving down after working two jobs, oftentimes she would be very tired. She'd be so tired that we'd literally pull over in a wayside and sleep. And other times we were actually given an option of sleeping in a residence room at the hospital. And I think back to those times and think, wow, if there had been a house like the transplant house, what that difference would have made for us.
I think there's such a ripple effect of what happens when you don't have a place to go. And it even affects those patients that live in Madison. What we forget is when there isn't a transplant house available to them, it takes the resources, the time, and the energy that they could put other places just to figure out how they're going to get through their day.
It shouldn't ever be that I can't afford to stay at the hotel and that I can't have a transplant because I have no place to live.
We have a world-class transplant center. In fact, there are so many transplants done here in the city of Madison at UW hospitals and clinics. And so I think that's why this house is needed in this community more than ever. But we really believe that we can be a great tool for them to do the opposite side of the medical community. The house ministers in a way to more than just that immediate family and that patient and that caregiver. It gives hopefulness because none of us know when cancer or transplant are coming for us. We always think it's always that other person. And before we know it, it really comes full circle and lands right at our front door as well. And then they'll know there's a place to go that will welcome them.
When you're staying in a place where there's others that may be going through similar things, waiting together, that there's an excitement watching somebody else even going for a transplant and hoping maybe the phone will ring and the next one will be for you. And I think that's really neat, that people become family.
And I think in community, you bolster yourself, you're with other people that encourage you. You find yourself encouraging others because you're not so self-focused. And you see that there's a general thread that goes along with all of you, and that you're looking for hopefulness, you're looking for life, you're looking for that second chance. And I believe that's why that house is necessary.
I think the big thing is that it should not be anything like the hospital, that it really needs to be a home, that somebody can come, that they can feel that they're at home when they're here. So I think the most important part of having something that's close to the hospital like this is that it's not a sterile environment, but that's an environment that is clean and healthy. And so I really believe that the main thing is really to look at the house as being a home.
It allows you to be with other folks that are on the same medical adventure you are.
the house will give that opportunity for everyone to have a place to stay before transplant, while they're waiting, or after their transplant.
This house is in a neighborhood that is amazing. And Middleton has a legacy of caring for its own people.
I love it. I think it's one of the most unique houses in the Middleton area. I think when I first came here, I thought, what a more beautiful environment for somebody to be after their transplant or waiting for transplant. I think it's just a gorgeous home, and I look forward to seeing it open.
I believe that this house will be the best of both worlds, of the side of medicine and the side of home, the nurturing and the caring that will allow patients to come home.
We need to get the doors open. This house can't sit here idle. I think, to me, it could have changed my life. It could have changed my parents' life.
We have 3 to 4 families every day that we are turning away that need the resources of this house today, not in the future, but today. And it is very hard when families come looking for the answers they need here because they've exhausted so many things, and we have to turn them away. Our biggest challenge right now is finding funding. Funding is coming much harder than I would have ever dreamed.
I think it's important to have a home like this. And if there's something that you can do to make this happen, make this dream a reality, you have to understand the lives that you're going to change and the people that you're going to help. And if you can do anything to move that forward, God bless you.
But you start realizing what the home means, the significance of it for others coming, looking for courage, hope, and life. And so help us get the doors open so we can do that.